Interactive lighting provides a new dimension of immersion to any space or installation. In this project, we are going to create a light that moves back and forth on an LED strip and follows either an object or person in front of it. For this project, we will need a device, a distance module, and a glow strip module. The LED strip that we're using is a 300 pixel LED strip. So because it requires a little bit of extra power, we have a 5-volt 8-amp power supply for it. To set up our device, we will place the distance module in port 3 and the glow strip module in port 7. Plug in both modules, making sure they're lined up with the dots and dashes on the side of the device. On the glow strip module, there's a plus symbol next to the bottom pin. This is the power pin. On the LED strip we are using, this corresponds to the red power wire. Use the plus icon as a reference to attach and line up the LED strip. Double check that it is in correctly, and then plug in the power supply to the barrel jack. We are using port 7 for the LED strip since it is near the USB-C port, which will make any cable management simpler. To get a sense of the distance we will be mapping and the pattern we'll be controlling, we can first look at the distance values through our app. Open the bond menu in the top left-hand corner and scan and connect to the device. Set port 3 to a distance module by tapping the port icon, tapping the module's menu button, and then choosing distance. You will now see the distance getting measured from the distance module. This is the value we'll be translating to the glow dot pattern. To see what the glow dot pattern looks like on its own, we'll set port 7 to glow. Tap on port 7, tap the module's menu button, and then choose glow. A glow strip module acts in the same way as a glow module, but instead of having LEDs directly on the module, it acts as an adapter to an LED strip of dynamic length. The only difference between using the two is making sure to set the strip length to the length of the number of pixels that you're using. To adjust the LED strip length, tap the 6 in the right-hand corner underneath the visualizer. Since we are using a 300 pixel strip, we will type in 300. To adjust the pattern section, either tap the 6 and type in 300, or a faster way is to delete the section pattern by tapping the X and then tapping the plus icon for it to automatically create a section with the max length. To preview a dot pattern without mapping, tap on the pattern menu button, which since the current pattern is a solid color, it displays as a color palette icon. Tap on dot. For right now, toggle on the bounce option. Swipe down on the menu and tap send. A purple dot will move back and forth on the strip. To turn it off, open the patterns menu, tap color, turn the brightness property all the way down, and tap send again. Now that we see what the pattern will look like and the distance we will be measuring, we're going to create an equation that sets the distance to the dot's position on the pixel strip. Create a new equation by tapping the New Equation button from the equation's homepage. Since we will always be running this interaction, we're not going to use a when statement. If we did want the LEDs to turn off or go dim when something is no longer in range of the distance sensor, we could add a when in that situation. Open up the equation palette by tapping on the Add button, which is the blue button with a white plus icon. Tap Output. Tap Glow. Set the strip and section length to 300 like we did when testing the pattern by tapping 6 in the right-hand corner under the visualizer and changing it to 300, and then deleting and re-adding a section. Choose a dot pattern by opening up the pattern menu and choosing dot. All glow pattern properties can be a set to. A set to will map the one property of one module to another. To create a set to for the dot's position, tap on the set to button, which is the two dots next to one another next to the position property. This opens the menu to choose what you would like to set the dot's position to. Tap on Modules. Scroll down and tap Distance. Tap on the millimeters property. Turn on the map toggle and set minimum to 0 and maximum to 80 to map to the correct pixel values. Tap Add Module. Turn on the gradient toggle and set Spread to 5 pixels. Close the pattern menu by swiping down. Tap Add Glow. Your equation is now complete. This is all you need to do for a set to, and your equation can now be cast. Open the cast view by tapping the casting icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the equation canvas. Tap to select hardware text. Tap the blue Add button next to the device you want to cast onto. If it is not there, run a scan. Close the menu by tapping out of it. Tap the Cast button. The button will dynamically update as it goes through the casting process. When the module screen pops up, hold and then drag the modules to match the device's configuration. In this case, the distance module is on port 3 and the glow module is on port 7. Once you have dragged the modules, tap the green checkmark button. Now as we move in front of the distance module, the glow's dot will move back and forth.